Humanity has been obsessed with a single profound question: why are we here? We search for the answer in grand achievements, complicated philosophies, and spiritual doctrines. We believe our purpose must be something monumental, a hidden key waiting to be unearthed. We spend our lives cutting through the noise, hunting for the one singular definition that will finally grant us fulfillment. But what if your purpose is simpler than you think? What if the entire quest for meaning has been misdirected? This is the only video you'll ever need to cut through that noise, to explore the beautiful, profound, and often simple path to a life that truly aligns with who you are. We are born with what could be called a divine nature, an authentic self, an essence that exists before any external judgment, any cultural tradition, or any societal expectation. But the moment we are born into the world tries to tell us who we are. It dictates our value, our class, our role, and our physical appearance. Carl Jung termed this societal mask the persona. Jung explained that we start to build what the wise call the false self, a structure built on external beliefs, on validation, and on the constant need to fit in. This false self becomes a shield, but also a prison, and we forget the one we truly are. The journey to rediscover our authentic self, our inner essence, is not new. It's a pattern etched into the DNA of storytelling, immortalized in mythology, and mirrored in the archetypal wisdom of the tarot. Think of the hero's journey, that recurring pattern of human experience. From King Arthur to countless modern narratives, we see a universal cycle of growth and transformation. It's a pattern repeated because fiction reflects the author, and the author is us. The tarot's major arcana maps this perfectly. The journey begins with the Fool, you, leaving the familiar world behind. This is the call to adventure. Your life purpose is, oftentimes, the very calling you feel to step out of your comfort zone and seek something more significant. You encounter mentors, like the magician and the high priestess, representing the resources and guides, both external and, crucially, internal. Then come the trials and tribulations, the strength, the justice, the hanged man, the death. These symbolize the inevitable challenges, the deep sacrifices, the profound learning, and the necessary transformations. In this archetypal model, your life is not a static state, but a continuous process of growth and evolution. Every obstacle is an opportunity to discover hidden talents, to integrate the shadow parts of yourself, the repressed aspects we refuse to face, and to acquire the wisdom and strength required for your destiny. This leads us to a crucial original reflection. The hero's journey, as an archetypal model, concludes that your purpose is to become the hero, the most complete and integrated version of yourself, of your own story. Now let's acknowledge the real-world resistance to this heroic path. The life of the worker, the pressures of capitalism, and the simple need for basic survival often make it incredibly difficult to follow what truly fills us. We are often forced to chase money as quickly as possible to guarantee security, and we find ourselves working with what is available, not with what completes us. This, my friend, is how we stay trapped in the matrix, a robotic, automated cycle where we live without reflection, without self-knowledge, without developing the self-awareness that would ultimately help us break free. But even within this struggle, there is a compass. The things we love most, the areas we feel the strongest connection to, are not random. They are a profound internal compass, pointing precisely to where we will feel most aligned with our essence. leading to a profound sense of belonging. The key to a meaningful and successful life is to rediscover that sense of play and curiosity we possessed as children and bravely integrate it into our adult work. Ask yourself the deep, clarifying questions. What truly excites me? What makes the time fly by when I am engaged in it? The state of flow. And most powerfully, what feels like play to me, but looks like work to others? This is not a trivial question. It is a vital clue to where your unique mastery lies. If you can find a way to make the work that truly matters to you feel genuinely like play, you will become a master. And mastery attracts incredible opportunities. This is the meaning behind the phrase, follow your bliss. It takes courage to ask what truly fills you and makes you feel alive. And that courage, in turn, leads to synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that confirm you are on the right path. This brings us to perhaps the most liberating and fundamental truth about purpose, the truth that gives us complete agency over our lives. The highly regarded channeled entity, Bashar, offers this profound insight. The greatest gift all of you have ever been given is life is meaningless. You are designed to give life meaning. Think about that for a moment. The meaning you assign to every situation, whether positive or negative, determines how you experience its effect. Negative meaning in, negative effect out. Positive meaning in, positive effect out. If you encounter an injury or a blockage that prevents you from following a path you thought was your purpose, what meaning will you assign to it? If you assign a negative meaning, you will remain trapped in a frequency that prevents you from understanding the positive reason, the orchestration behind that event. But if you assign a positive meaning, you can extract a positive result. You are the architect of your meaning. This simple shift in perspective is the absolute key. This principle is beautifully reflected in the idea of seeing life as an open-world game. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche described the ideal approach to life using the image of a child, the ultimate player, who gives themselves inexorably without worrying about victories or defeats. The important thing is to play. This simple shift in mindset instantly transforms the world into a game map where challenges are not punishments, but problems to be approached with a sense of fun and, more importantly, with purpose. We are fundamentally problem solvers. The human mind is designed to organize and resolve chaos. The most successful games are challenging, and a game without a problem to be solved can easily be considered boring. So do people really prefer the absence of problems? If life were too easy, if there were no obstacles, would we all be happy? Or would we likely face an epidemic of depression and anxiety just like we face right now, but for different reasons, such as boredom by the lack of meaningful engagement? Reflection. Why do external validation and easily acquired material goods often lose their value? Because they come too easily. The emptiness that many of us try to fill with external conquests can only be filled by the internal reform, the struggle, and the meaning we assign to that struggle. Obstacles are not a curse. They are a vital, necessary part of personal growth and evolution. The archetypal journey always involves a crisis, a moment of symbolic death where something must die so the new can emerge. In the tarot, this is perfectly symbolized by the Tower, a sudden rupture, a confrontation with the shadow. Shadow work is the willingness to face the darkest, most repressed parts of yourself. Refusing to do so will cause your true potential to remain hidden, becoming your ultimate prison. It is often tragedy that reveals the divine strength you never knew you possessed. It allows you to expand into the person you were truly destined to be. By facing and conquering your inner demons, you unlock a piece of your personal legend. The gifts you gain, wisdom, experience, and perspective, only came because you had the courage to go through the fight. And here is the beautiful spiritual dimension of this. Your personal experience adds to the collective wisdom and elevates the collective consciousness, simply because you had the courage to follow your legend. So, how do we navigate this game of life? We return to a universal constant that defines perfection in all things: equilibrium. We speak of balance in every single part of our lives, in ecosystems, in our diet, in the balance of yin and yang, in the harmony between work and rest. The extremes are never ideal. The reasonable, most effective approach to life is found in the balance between two opposing forces: our need for security, which seeks the familiar and the known, our courage to pursue what we desire, which requires breaking the resistance to leave the known and daring to face the new. You must honor both. Too much security leads to stagnation and the matrix. Too much risk leads to chaos. The sweet spot is the dynamic, living balance between the two. This is the ultimate lesson of the game. The best survivors do not lament their situations. They find a way to transform even horrible circumstances into a game, maintaining their focus on the next manageable step and accepting what they cannot control. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and survivor of the concentration camps, observed that the core driving force of a human being is not pleasure or power, but the search for a meaning in life. He noted that the survivors were those who had a why to live. He detailed 4 primary ways to find meaning that are entirely within your control. Let's look at 2 critical ones. First, work that feeds the soul, your unique task. The key here is not just asking, how can I serve myself, but also, how can I serve the world? And what unique characteristic in me can help someone else? This connects to a profound spiritual truth. From Christianity to various spiritual paths, charity and service are often pointed to as the main source of lasting happiness. By serving our neighbor, we are serving ourselves. Could the feeling of belonging stem from a balance between serving ourselves and serving the world, between self-love and the love of our neighbor? The task you seek is the one that is uniquely yours. Second, appreciating beauty and love. Frankl saw that even amidst the cruelty of the camps, beauty still existed, in a sunset, in the sea, in a piece of art. We often tend to over-focus on the bad moments, using them to feed our own narrative of being a victim in a cruel world, letting the good ones slip right by. This is why the active practice of gratitude and perspective is so critical. Love, he believed, transcends physical presence, death, and distances, because its deepest meaning resides in the spiritual core of being. This naturally leads us to a highly popular modern concept: romanticize your life. This trend is a modern form of mindfulness and existential intentionality. It is the conscious decision to see the beauty in the mundane, transforming common tasks, a coffee, cleaning the house, a commute, into a special experience like a scene from a movie. Change your perspective, focusing on appreciation, cultivating gratitude, and finding joy in the present moment. Embrace main character energy, seeing yourself as the protagonist of your own life, giving importance and meaning to your personal story. This practice is the realization that suffering ceases to be suffering the moment it finds a meaning that you choose to attribute. It is a powerful invitation to slow down, to infuse beauty into daily activities, and to transform the mundane into the magical through a simple change of attitude. If we don't learn to value what we have, we won't value what we conquer. We will instantly postpone happiness to the next goal, and the cycle continues. In the end, what is your purpose? It is the process, not the destination. The ultimate takeaway from this journey is that the human being is not merely a product of biology or environment. You have the freedom of choice in any moment. This is the last of human freedoms that can never be taken away. The freedom to decide who you will be. Your life is an infinite game, a complex, co-created experience shared with the universe and with the people you love. The World card in the tarot symbolizes the return, the hero who comes back, transformed and realized, ready to apply their learning. This is the state of being that you reach when you live your own story authentically. The key is to approach it all with a sense of fun, courage, and adventure. Because, as the saying goes, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.